They were just there recently talking to the Transportation Research Board and handed them a packet with solutions on some of the things we just talked about, like the fraud of double brokering, pay, a lot of that stuff. So that's the thing. Coming up to the solutions point is the real thing, being proactive. So if you are a driver out there, look at cdldu.com. And look at what's joining us. There's a lot of resources for drivers out there. I'm helping spearhead their health and their kind of health and wellness committee, and talking about how drivers can stay healthy. But there's a lot of other things they're going to offer, like mental health services, and other business advice. But other than that, you can find me everywhere at Lombard Trucking, Lombard Trucking. That's Instagram, TikTok. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube, at the Lombard Trucking Show. And yes, if you are a driver out there, and non-driver, if you're in the logistics world, or you could be anybody listening. If you want somebody who sends motivational messages a couple times a week, can monitor, can view what you're tracking, what you're eating, give you some workout tips. Download the First Form app. It's $12 a month. I pay to use it, and I've had phenomenal progress. And it gives a lot of services. You can have me as your coach. You search Lombard Trucking on there. And I also want to mention that I've got a Facebook group, LT Supply Chain Fitness. So if you just want a Facebook group where people talk about meals and stuff like that, so I've started that. Like I said, I'm trying to change the culture and how fitness is viewed in the logistics and trucking world. So. But yeah, everywhere you can. So, but no, I appreciate you having me on. I'm glad we were able to rip this long and for an hour and a half. I definitely the C4 energy drink definitely brought it out of me a little bit. But no, I can't thank you enough for having me on and being able to talk about this stuff. Just Gord had told me this because I asked him the same question when I had him on my show. I said, "How do we fix this?" And he said, "We got to keep talking. We got to keep talking. We got to keep at it. Keep having the conversations with as many people as we can." And manifest the solutions and just keep the message going. It's the only way to work.
Very well said, because in today's day and age, we're so accustomed now to instant gratification via social media, and so it's an important reminder to let folks know that complex problems require complex solutions, and they're not going to be immediate, but you got to be able to talk about it and you got to be able to work through it. So you said it best. So Mike, thank you so much for joining the show. We'll have to do this again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Absolutely.